My father never came to my school events. Not my plays, not my competitions, not even my graduation rehearsal. He just wasn't there. When friends asked where he was, I'd always have an excuse ready. Oh, he's just really busy with work, I'd say, forcing a smile. It was a well-rehearsed line, a shield I used to hide the truth. The real truth, I was ashamed. I was a kid, and all I saw were the other dads in their nice suits laughing and cheering. My dad, he was different. He worked with his hands, his clothes were always a little worn, a little faded. I told myself his absence was better than the potential embarrassment. This belief, this story I told myself, festered for years. It built a wall between us, brick by painful brick. I started to believe my own lie. He must be busy. He must not care as much as the other dads. The resentment grew, a quiet bitter weed in the garden of my childhood. I convinced myself that his love was conditional, that my achievements weren't quite good enough to warrant his presence. It was easier to be angry at him than to confront the deep-seated shame I felt. I remember one specific incident in middle school. I was in the spelling bee finals. The auditorium was packed. I could see my mom in the third row, her face beaming with pride, but the seat next to her was empty. As I stood on stage, spelling words I practiced for weeks, my eyes kept drifting to that empty chair. Each correctly spelled word felt hollow. When I won second place, everyone clapped. My mom hugged me so tight I could barely breathe, but all I could think about was that empty seat. Later that night, my dad came home late, smelling of sawdust and sweat. He ruffled my hair and said, "Heard you did great, kiddo." I just shrugged and walked away. I didn't show him the trophy. I let the silence speak for my disappointment. The breaking point came in high school. I had the lead role in the school play. It was a big deal, the culmination of months of rehearsals. The night of the premiere, the air was electric with excitement. Backstage, everyone's parents were there, bringing flowers, offering last-minute words of encouragement. My mom was there, of course, but Dad was not. One of my teachers, Mr. Henderson, a kind man who had always supported my love for theater, pulled me aside. He asked gently, "Your mom's here every night. Why doesn't your dad ever come to see you perform?" He's missing out on something special. Something inside me just snapped. The years of buried frustration, of quiet hurt, all came pouring out. "He just doesn't care," I said, the words sharp and venomous. "He's never cared. He's probably happier at work than he would be sitting here." I didn't even realize I was crying until Mr. Henderson handed me a tissue. I didn't know, couldn't have known, the devastating irony of my words. I didn't know that at that very moment, my father was standing outside the school gate just as he had for every single event, every single time. He stood there, hidden in the shadows, just close enough to hear the muffled applause, just far enough to remain unseen. He was watching, listening. He was too embarrassed to come inside. He had dropped out of school as a boy to support his family, and his reading was slow and clumsy. He was terrified that he'd have to sign a guest book or read a program, and someone would notice his struggle. He was too afraid someone would see his calloused hands, his worn-out work boots, and judge not him, but me. He was too scared that I would be ashamed of him. So he loved me from a distance, believing his absence was a gift. The truth came out on my graduation day. It was a perfect sunny afternoon. The field was a sea of blue caps and gowns. I scanned the crowd for my mom, and I found her, waving frantically. But then I saw him, standing near the back, partially obscured by a large oak tree. My father. He was wearing a shirt I'd never seen before, and a pair of dress shoes that looked a size too big, clearly borrowed for the occasion. And as my name was called as I walked across that stage to receive my diploma, his face crumpled. He was crying harder than anyone else. As soon as the ceremony ended, I didn't wait for my friends. I didn't care about the pictures. I just ran. I pushed through the crowd, my heart pounding in my chest, a decade of misunderstanding unraveling with every step. When I finally reached him, I threw my arms around his neck, diploma forgotten. He hugged me back, his whole body trembling. Through his tears he whispered, "I'm so proud of you. I'm so sorry. I stayed away so you wouldn't feel small because of me." And in that moment, under that oak tree, everything became clear. The empty seats, the missed events, the silent nights. They weren't signs of indifference. They were acts of sacrifice. They were declarations of a love so profound, so selfless, that he chose to endure his own pain to protect me from a shame that only existed in my own mind. I looked at this man, my father, with his rough hands that had built my world, with his tear-streaked face full of pride, and I realized the truth. I was never small because of him. I was strong because of him. His quiet strength was the foundation I had been standing on all along. His love wasn't absent. It was just silent. And in that moment, it was the loudest thing I had ever heard. If this story touched you, please give it a like and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Sometimes the greatest love is the one that isn't seen. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories that make you think and feel. Thank you for watching.